I would like to be a surgeon in the future.
I want to be a lawyer.
God has endowed me with so many potentials and great talents, and by this I intend to work hard and achieve them.
It is said, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. In most parts of the world, education is regarded as a fundamental human right. Education is one of the basic criteria to measure the growth and development of any nation. Sadly, the level, quality and standard of education in most developing countries such as Nigeria has witnessed a geometric drop in the past 2 decades. This unfortunate trend has made Nigeria the leading country of origin of students from Africa migrating to other parts of the world in search of quality education. Though at different times in the past, governments at both national and state levels have tried to reverse the trend, but the effort seemed far from the desired outcome.
Education is the bedrock of every development. Without education, every other thing is zero. That is why the emphasis should be more on education, and that will guide the upcoming ones.
Today in Delta State, the administration of Governor Ifeanyi has taken practical steps to return education to its pride of place by making the school environment more conducive for learning.
We must thank God that we have a man like His Excellency Senator Dr. Ifeanyi as the governor of Delta State. Look at the schools, the way he has imparted on schools, school structural development. At the height of economic recession, the man has done so well.
Our neighbor governor, Senator Ifeanyi Okowa, has done well. The last section alone, he renovated this block you are seeing, 12 classroom block. I commend his effort, the way he wants to build infrastructure in secondary schools in Delta State across the board.
Goal setting. Goal setting is a guide for achieving plan. Giving a sound plan.
The desire to accord education its primary position in the development of the human minds and the advancement of communities has propelled Governor Ifeanyi Okowa to tackle the rot bedeviling education sector in the state, especially in the area of basic infrastructure and relevant human capacity.
This governor presently is a listening governor. His Excellency, the distinguished Senator Okowa, who are deemed it necessary to renovate our school. And some of the ongoing projects is what I've led you through now. You saw for yourself the 8 classroom block upstairs. The school admin block is not left out. And the vice principal's quarter that way is already is also under renovation.
Governor Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, who is actually education friendly, I must commend this effort. As you can see from what he has done, we actually started this school in September 2017. You can see what he has done here. We thank God for him. You can see the atmosphere, the environment is student, teacher friendly, which makes teaching and learning very effective.
Governor Okowa, from the very beginning of his administration, charted the roadmap to this new dawn. The first major step was the convocation of an education summit where experts brainstormed on the way forward.
One of our cardinal programs of this government is educational reforms. One of the first things we did when we came on the saddle 3 years ago, that is Senator Ifeanyi Okowa 3 years ago, we organized an education summit where experts from various areas of education industry were put together in Asaba. By the end of the day, we took certain decisions. Some of the decisions are that we must, as a matter of principle, try as much as possible to upgrade some of the schools. And that is what we're seeing here today.
Within the last 3 years, the basic and secondary schools in the state have witnessed massive interventions. From Asaba, the state capital territory, and other local government areas in the North Senatorial District, through Warri and environs in the south to Ughelli and adjoining communities in the central senatorial district, the story of the transformation in the education sector is apparent.
With these new buildings here, it really helped the students and the teachers. We were able to decongest. What we met at the initial stage was not enough at all.
I'm very happy, especially now that we have gotten a new structures in our school. The head teacher, the teachers and the pupils, we are so happy, especially for this new dispensation. During the week, they brought some chairs to the school and the children, they were delighted, they were so happy.
In the last 3 years, the Okowa-led administration has pursued very vigorously the completion of inherited model school projects across the state. These commitments have brought about the completion of 4 model schools. These schools that now wear new looks are Alema College, Abigborodo, Burutu Grammar School, Burutu, Ogbemudeng Secondary School, Bojibojiabo, and Owa Model Secondary School, Bojibojowa. While work is being intensified in 5 other inherited model schools, that is, Ogini Grammar School, Ogarefe, Mixed Secondary School, Ashaka, Emora Grammar School, Ole, Otu Jeremy Secondary School, Otu Jeremy, and Government Secondary School, Ughelli.
My happiness is that he did not come and abandon the project, because that's the challenges we usually have in various governments in Nigeria. He has come, saw the project, and he has completed the project for the benefit of the people.
This wind of change is also blowing across a good number of legacy schools in the state, among which are Chuda Girls College Sapele, Urobo College Efrun, and Government Model School Patani. And soon, work will commence in the Model Secondary School on Icholona.
The schools are on 3 floors. They have 24 classrooms, 4 laboratories, library, a computer room, a sick bay, and so they're very, very modern concepts, and we have them scattered across the state. We're pretty confident that we will complete some more this year, so that we can provide the necessary learning environment for our school-age children.
Aside these model schools, the state has embarked on construction and renovation of hundreds of classroom blocks in both primary and secondary schools, even as many administrative blocks, science laboratory blocks, and perimeter fences have been constructed across the state.
I want to thank him specially for remembering our school. If you look at the laboratory now, you find out that the government just gave it a facelift. Government Model Secondary School, GRA Asaba, it is the best.
Still moving with an unwavering commitment, the administration has established additional 12 primary schools and 34 secondary schools with a view to extending access to quality education to hitherto difficult terrains. Today, the state government is shouldering the huge bill of maintaining 1,124 primary schools and 472 post-primary institutions, in addition to 6 technical schools.
With the establishment of this school here, the new buildings that the government has given to this school so far, with these classrooms that are on ground, the school can accommodate more students, even if the Okpana population grows to double itself.
As part of measures to promote healthy learning, the Okowa-led administration procured 34,694 PPO's desks, 7,354 teachers' furniture, and also constructed 79 solar-powered boreholes and 243 modern toilets. The urge to move with utmost speed on the Education Revival Highway motivated Governor Ifeanyi Okowa to direct the release of the unpaid UBEC counterpart fund from 2013 till date.
You have highly conducive environment for learning, and you have qualified teachers. As we speak, we train our teachers every year.
Superb is coming up with so many things.
The Smart Delta crew, while on visits to some of the schools, saw the transformation that are clearly evident across the state, irrespective of the terrain and topography.
The credit goes to the government. Because of the infrastructure development of the school, the teachers also have some credit. The students are disciplined, so they have some credit. The government that provided all the things we're enjoying today also has some credit. It is not one person affair, it is a general contribution, and we appreciate it.
Other schools like GOV.OKOWA'S and Efezomo secondary schools, where we met serious construction work going on. The teachers and students were in high spirit and were most grateful to the governor for his efforts towards ensuring they too enjoy quality, accessible, affordable, and quality education without tears.
The government is really trying. Facilities are on ground for smooth takeoff. If you watch out, you find that you see that there is a gigantic building project going on. The contract was awarded by the state government. The work is in progress. By the time the work is completed, I think we shall have a smooth playing ground to discharge our duties effectively.
They are building for us now. We are hoping that in no distant time our own will be ready. So we will be able to have our students either in the classroom or in the laboratory. So these are some of the things government have seen and they are trying to correct.
When I look at the modern building, there this time we have modern schools, science schools. They are now well equipped. We are really out, the teachers. In fact, the teachers who have here, like what my principal has just said, they are very competent teachers. So when we have the materials, I can assure you we do our best.
I can say we have better quality education now, because then teachers were not many as you can have them now, and we have them more qualified too.
The government are really trying, because when we look at some already made schools like Obomude, we see that the school has been made for students to easily learn. Like you find the normal infrastructure for learning.
I would like to thank our governor, Senator Dr. GOV.OKOWA'S, for the infrastructural development he has put in place in helping to build in security, and also the wonderful teachers he has set in place in our school, and also for the good and conducive environment of learning.
And I will thank him more concerning the renovation, because he's trying his best, and also we have more qualified teachers.
Welcome to Delta State, the big heart. Come, live, invest, and explore the potentials of our Delta.
Schools in the Capital Territory are indeed being upgraded to the status it deserved. One common feature of these schools is that they have large spaces with clusters of buildings making up various departments, classroom blocks, hostels, sports pavilions, laboratories, and so much more.
We have tennis court over there at the back, we have basketball, and we have many classes and offices with AC and fan. At least the government, they have done very well.
With this sports pavilion, let me say best so far in Delta State, because during the inter-house, we really made use of the pavilion. We practice every Wednesday, 90 minutes. And the essence of that, students, if you know the area in which you move to that area, football, cricket.
Government has given us all the required facilities we need, like they have provided us with good building, good teachers, and so much, good chairs and everything. So I believe with all this, we can read our books, learn very well in a good environment.
Defying the tidal waves that characterize the many estuaries that crisscross the creeks and the tortuous boat ride to the riverine areas to arrive Ogidigbe Grammar School in Warri Southwest, The crew was greeted with a pleasant surprise at the sight of massive reconstruction that has taken place amongst other schools in Baramatu, Ogula and Iyele.
This admission they are trying, like in Ribana area, this little development we're seeing now, if all the past administration have done that before, we'll have seen development more than this.
Very nice studying here because they teach properly and they don't give any complications. Anything you want, if you want them to explain further, they do explain further. So I'm comfortable studying here.
Governor Ifeanyi Okowa, in walking the talk, has ensured no part of the state is left behind. In Otoro Primary School in Ethiopia East, SUBEB has carried out massive intervention through the renovation of facilities, provision of portable water, and standard clean conveniences.
This is Otoro Primary School in Orakpo, Ethiopia East local government area. And what you see here is a massive intervention by SUBEB in renovation and reconstruction of schools in Delta State. They don't only renovate and reconstruct, they also provide portable drinking water for the use of the kids. And behind me here is a tap that is running for the use of the student and for the community of Orakpo.
We are really impressed of the smart agenda of this SLSC, Dr. Ato Ifeanyi Okowa, the Executive Governor of Delta State. In fact, this renovation that Okowa came to do in Orakpo Primary School and Secondary School, in fact, most of the students who went to private school before, they came back from private school to this government school.
For the government secondary school, Ugeli, the entire school environment is a delight to behold. Students of government secondary school in Ugeli South and many others in Delta Central owe their gratitude to Governor Ifeanyi Okowa for raising the ante of academic excellence in their schools.
I want to thank him for giving the children out there the privilege to go to school.
The equipment here are better than those of the private school.
In line with the state government's drive to make education accessible commodity to all nooks and crannies, the State Executive Council graciously approved the building of new schools in Ododeo and Owodokoko in Ugeli North and South, respectively. These success stories cut across several other schools like the Urobo College, Chudo Girls and Model School in Sapele. Chudo Girls especially tell of Governor Okowa's prompt response to their needs at the time the school encountered the devastating effect of a fire outbreak.
I want you to see the current setback as something that is going to spoil you up into the future, because God kept you alive for a purpose.
The incident took place on Friday. By Sunday, the governor was here. So he came and saw things personally for himself. He saw that a lot of the place was really dilapidated, and he wondered whether this was a model school in Delta State. He promised that within a year, that is going to turn around, and that is what he has seen to do.
If you look at the school now, it's wearing a new look. Before this time, the buildings in the school, they were so bad. But after that incident that principal have just mentioned, the way the state responded as per infrastructural development in this school was very, very great. In fact, personally, we give the governor a very high mark for that.
When I was looking around the school, I thought they were going to forget us. I thought the governor had already forgotten us. But when I came back and I saw the renovation, saw what they were doing, I was really impressed. In short, I was jumping. I said, our governor has remembered us.
We are so happy about the renovation of the school. We can study well. Now we have a good thing that we can do about the school.
Since the school hostel got born, the government has really responded well. And before, our school did not have a very good lab. But now it's having a very good lab because the government has renovated the lab.
The huge investment in the basic and secondary schools has not blocked the vision of the state government from looking into the technical and vocational colleges in the state. Government has changed the face of infrastructure and equipment at these centers of skills acquisition. These laudable projects led to the full accreditation of all 6 technical colleges.
The 6 technical schools were in very moribund shape. They have all been rehabilitated now. They've gotten a accreditation for all the courses. We begin to encourage our people that it's not only about going into the normal, usual schools. Going into the technical schools. In our technical schools, you are taught the subjects in the secondary school. You have the additional experience of a hands-on training that helps to stimulate your brain and make you a better person, where you can actually attain skills and you don't have to carry your papers anywhere. You just be thinking of how to raise a little money and to be able to move forward.
More importantly is the recent accreditation of the programs in the technical colleges by the Board for Technical Education, who visited the state a couple of weeks or months ago and did an extensive review of the programs in technical colleges, and I'm pleased to say that they have our programs have been accredited.
To complement the overall performance of its students, as well as nurse talents in different sports, the state has introduced sports competitions amongst schools in the state. Sporting equipments are being provided across the schools. These steps taken by the administration is designed to place the state in the forefront of churning out star athletes for the state and the country at large.
With sports, we will make them to be attending school regularly.
OKOWA has really done well in terms of education, in terms of sports, prompt payment of teacher salary, promotions, name it.
To ameliorate the challenge of low teacher quality, to retool, upgrade and retain teachers at various levels, Governor Ifeanyi Okowa has established the Teachers Professional Development Center, TPDC, and construction of a center commenced recently with approval already granted for training programs to commence this year.
It has been said that great teachers help create great students. A well-trained and competent teacher with noble disposition is a critical factor in determining student performance and achievement.
In some urban areas, teachers tend to flock such places, and then some rural areas may be suffering. But for quite some time, the board has been doing their best to redistribute and ensure that both rural and urban areas have enough.
The desire to halt the decline in the use of local languages for interaction has propelled the state government, in collaboration with the Nigerian Educational Research and Development Center, to re-engineer the school curricula with a view to teaching select local languages in some pilot schools. Through the Public-Private Partnership Program PPP, the Governor Ifeanyi Okowa-led administration has received huge support from stakeholders in the private sector through the Support a School program SASP, the Zenith Bank Principals Cup, now in its third cycle, Award of Excellence by Aeroton Oil Exploration, the Samsung Smart School program in Government Secondary School Asaba, construction of new Eku Secondary School in Eku, Ethiopia East by ESO Exploration, and many others.
Government can't do it all, and so we've realized that. And very early in the life of our administration, we had to rejig our public-private partnership department, give it, bring in new blood, fresh blood, and give it a new lease of life, so that we can harness on available partnerships with the private sector.
Governor Ifeanyi Okowa has not been alone in his drive for academic excellence. His wife, Dame Edith Okowa, has been doing her bit, providing support to her husband. She has over time sewn school uniforms and giving out books to vulnerable and less privileged children in schools through her O5 Foundation.
I visit schools. You find some children have so sewn their torn uniform that even when they move their leg is torn. It doesn't take so much. 3,000 is enough to put on new school uniform on a child. So we've been going about from local government to local government to see how we can do this. Like I said, one person at a time.
Indeed, increasing access to education helps improve the overall health and longevity of a society, and by extension, grow their economies.
On Christ the solid, all Christ died, all other ground is sinking sand.
Senator Dr. GOV.OKOWA has proven to be a smart leader in the true sense of the word, and is ever ready to blaze the trail in new frontiers.
Come to Delta State, come and see the good things where Okowa they do. You better run, come to Delta State, come and see the good things where Okowa they do. I see a job and work creation in Delta, make the youth say them higher. Okowa, I see good roads everywhere in Delta, make the people say them cola. Come live in Delta, say me I say, come invest in Delta. Come explore the potentials of our state.